Hello and welcome to this advanced lesson on how to play the wonderful Irving Berlin song called White Christmas. You may or may not like this song, you may be averse to Christmas music, and I completely understand, but please bear with me for the subjects of this lesson because we can do some really interesting stuff with this song, especially the chords, and hopefully at the end of it we'll have something that sounds a bit like this. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to assume you're a fairly advanced player, so I'm not going to go through the melody. Everything that we talk about in this video is included in a PDF if you click the link below. I put all of this on paper so that you don't have to work it out by ear. So I do suggest you download that and just pause this video and just have a quick play through the melody. We're doing it in C. It's not too tricky. The trickiest thing is actually just the mechanics of reading it because the first and second time bars are quite long. So what I'm going to do in this lesson, this is all about the chords because there's two ways we can do the chords and the second one is really tricky but really fun to do. First way of playing the chords is fairly straight down the line. So this is in C major. And this is, you can play the chords pretty diatonic, so the diatonic chords in C major going up are C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B flat 5 half diminished, C. So your main chords there, as you should know, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and then you don't use the sep. So the first version of the chords just uses those. So I've given the chord chart in the PDF below, so make sure you have that in front of you. The only one to watch out for is the F to F minor. So there's a few that you can use, and I would suggest the F to F minor I'm going to be using. I really like this F, the basic sort of 5-3-0. And then for the F minor, if you keep your middle finger down, you've got 5 and 6 and 3. So I'll be doing that. And then the D minor, I don't really like this open D minor, 2001. I don't really like how that sounds. I always play this D minor, 2-3-5. I think that sounds a bit nicer, and I've got a bit more control over it because I haven't got any open strings ringing out. So we're going to play it about this speed. And as you can hear, I'm sort of doing a general, the rhythm is quite simple. It sort of matches that bluegrass backbeat, but there's a bit of a, I'm sort of ghosting some upstrokes in there. So da 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 da. But you can do any rhythm you want, just the simple bass strum would do, or you can keep it open. Any rhythm you want. I think I'll be doing, I think actually I will do an open version. Still with that emphasis on the backbeat, but a nice open right hand ringing those chords out where I can is how I'm going to play it. I've changed my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split screen it. So I'm going to have one half of the screen playing the melody with the repeat, so first time round, first time bar, second time round, into the second time bar. And you should play the chords, and I'll play the chords as well, so you can hear how they should sound with the melody. So I'll have the metronome so you can hear it, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. time bar, minor, so hopefully for advanced players that wasn't too tricky. What we can now do is ramp up those chords and really make them interesting and almost, so I've imagined that we're accompanying a jazz musician when we're doing this, either a singer or anyone playing in sort of a jazz style. So for the next few minutes I'm just going to talk through a few of the elements I've done. If you're not interested in the theory, you can wind on and just play it instead of worrying about the theory. But for anyone interested, I'm just going to waffle on for a few minutes about where I've got these chords from. So the first thing I do when I see a chord progression in C major, most jazz musicians would make that C major 7. So for my C major 7, I'm playing this shape, 5, 2, 2, and then also catching the E string. So that's the first thing to think of. There are instances later on where we play just normal C, but most of the time I will play C major 7. And all of these, you can pick and choose with this chord progression. You can just stick to C major if you want. You know, that's the great thing about music, it's personal choice. Bar 2. So in the original version, it just stays over C and has that melody going on. But I think we can get that melody in our chord progression, and I think we can do it if we play a D minor 7. So if we play this D minor 7, 5, 3, 5, our first finger there on the 3rd fret is playing the melody. So if we move the chord to match that, so we effectively play D minor 7, D flat minor 7, C minor 7, D flat minor 7, ending back up on D minor 7. So I really like that, how that sounds. So bar 1 and 2 would be, and then you can do the same in bar 4, F sharp 7 to G7. You've got the melody there. So little interesting things you can do with chords, and there's no quick way around this. This is just sort of experience and sitting down, starting with the basic chord pattern and the melody and sort of just going through it. It took me a while, a lot of crossing out, a lot of ones I didn't like, versions that didn't quite sound right. So you just pick up little hints of the melody and the chords. So that's bar 1, that's the first phrase. So if we just try that together, and I have charted all of this out. I suggest you break it down in sections, but if we just try the first 4 bars together, 1, 2, 3, 4, C major 7, and then the run, D minor 7. So you can hear the melody. If you played that to someone, in July and said, "What song is this?" they would know it as White Christmas. So that's the sort of effect we're going for. The next pattern we can do is not related to the melody. What we can do is we can find lines that link chords together. And the best example of this is just before the first time bar. So in the original version, we have just a few bars of C, then C7, then to F minor. So I know from experience that when you've got C to F7, C to C7, then to F, and then to F minor, there's a line of notes that runs between all of those. It's, if I say it out, so it's C, B flat, A flat. So you've got a line that runs between all those chords. Now that's really nice. It's obviously nothing to do with the melody, but it's a really nice sort of addition if someone was singing the melody. And then the other thing you can do is you're sort of jumping past the B natural. So if you went C, C major 7, C7 to F minor, you've got a chromatic run there. So that's what I've done in bars 9 to 12. you've got running between those 4 bars, which is a really nice technique and sounds really nice, really satisfying when you find little patterns like this. And again, this just comes from experience, knowing that when you've got the root, then the root 7 going to the 4, and then the 4 minor, so C, C7 to F minor, so 1, 1, 7, 4, 4 minor. In whatever key, that line will be there. So again, just a bit of experience. So let's just try that together after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C major 7, 7. F major 7 to F minor. Sounds so cool. And again, let's do it one more time. 3, 4. And as you've noticed with the rhythm this time, I'm keeping it nice and simple. Almost like a bounce, down, up, da, 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 da. So my right hand's almost doing down, up, down, up, down. And then I'm getting the nice short chords by releasing the pressure. So nothing's actually deadening the string, it's just releasing the pressure with the left hand to get that bounce. But you can play whatever rhythm you want. And then the final section I want to mention, because there's lots of others. So there's I do like this minor 7 shape. So in D minor it's 5 3 5. So there's an E minor 7. So all my minor 7s are in this shape, apart from the A minor 7. But it's all charted out below, and I've kind of gone through a similar thought process with everything that we've done. I'm just not going to talk about it all in this video. The final thing I do want to talk about is the last, in the second time bar. You have a very common chord progression, even on the original version, that goes 1 6 2 5. So in C it's 1, which is C, 2, 6 is A minor, 2 is D minor, and then 5 is G. So C, A minor, G. It's a very common chord chart. Sleigh Bells uses it, so does Swing 42 by Django. It's a really common chord progression. 1 6 2 5. Now, you can just play that as the actual shape, so C, A minor, D minor, G7. But there's a nice little pattern on the mandolin that's contained in a nice little, neat little box. So if you've got your normal 3-finger C, I'm just doing C here, you could do C major 7. And then your A minor here, and then D minor 7 here, and then this is where the neat trick comes in. To get from D minor 7 to G7, you just flatten that middle finger by 1 fret. So instead of C on the bass, you've got a B, and then that gives you G7. So D minor 7, G7. So really nice little pattern. So that's why I've written the last there as C, A minor, D minor 7, G7. So there you go. That works in any key, anytime. So if it was in G, that sort of 4-note pattern, you could do that anywhere. Anywhere on the mandolin. So in E, it'd be E, C sharp minor, F sharp minor 7, B7, 1 6 2 5. It's a really useful pattern, so well worth getting under your fingers. So I'm afraid the only thing left for us to do is to dive in and try the version 2 of White Christmas with all of these difficult chords added in. Again, I'm going to split the screen, so I'm going to have one half playing the melody and one half playing the chords that I've described. Again, everything is charted out on the PDF below, so you don't have to worry about remembering anything. You can read it all. You could use whatever shape you want. The way I've written it is my suggestions to what I really enjoy doing it. If you find some chords that you don't like, or you prefer different shapes, then you dive in and change them. That I highly encourage that. because that's what I've done. I've just changed it to what I like playing, so please do that yourself. I'll have the metronome so you can hear it, so you can stay in time with us. And here we go with White Christmas with the repeats, so first time bar and second time bar. Best of luck. 1, 2, 3, 4. Run. F major 7 to E minor 7. C. Here's the run. So first time bar. G. C major. Here's the run to the second time bar. 1, 6, 2, 5, 1. So there we have it, White Christmas. 2 versions of the chords, one sort of fairly straight down the line and one much more difficult on the mandolin but much more interesting with matching the melody and finding lines between the chords. I hope you've enjoyed the process. If you have any questions, then please just get in touch over at mandomike.com. Please hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Here's hoping that 2021 is slightly easier for everyone. I look forward to seeing you all then.